So I'm just sitting down here with Nolan Dyck, and by sitting, I mean standing. We are here talking about the Maskwa Medical Center.
Yeah.
Nolan, I'm excited about this project. Is it true that it's going to bring private jets and new doctors into Grande Prairie?
Well, you're right 50% of the time, all the time. So, no, I'm not sure about the private jets. That's people's personal choice, but it is going to bring more doctors. So the cool thing about the Maskwa Center, it is a partnership between Northwestern Polytechnic and also U of A to have a rural medical training center here in Grande Prairie. So currently, between U of C and U of A, they train all of our doctors. We're part of the expansion project here in Grande Prairie and in Lethbridge. Next fall, here in Grande Prairie, we will have our first class of 30 doctors going through. So that's fantastic through the med school.
Sorry, fall of next year.
2025.
And construction's going to start here in 2024.
So yeah, so there's two projects that we're talking about. One is the Maskwa Medical Center. The Maskwa Medical Center is going to be housing the residency and the teaching clinic. So those go together really well. So every single student, once they go through their actual medical training, has to do a residency.
Right.
When you do the residency, you're often in a teaching clinic. It just makes it easier logistically versus trying to send them out across everywhere just for their training. So the medical center will house the residencies. Each one of those residents at that point will be taking a partial panel, not a full panel because they are still learning. And over top of them, overseeing them, will be a doctor who has already gone through not just this program, but another doctor. So
the first phase is residency, getting training. What is the next couple phases looking like for this center?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so the part that NWP has, Northwestern Polytechnic, they're going to house the pre-med and the medical school. So that's your medical school is really your first section. And then your second section is the residencies. Once you're done your residencies, then you're a full doctor. After that, what we've seen in other areas of medical and retention is when you train someone locally, then they're going to there's about a 70% chance that they stay locally.
Right.
So across Alberta, U of A, U of C, there's only about 4% of their medically trained doctors that end up going rural. So, which is a small amount of doctors. It's one of the challenges.
It's one of the challenges, especially here in Grande Prairie,
right.
where we have a brand new facility.
Exactly.
We don't have enough staff to actually house it.
That's right. So I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a great retention opportunity here, as well as building opportunity. For the between the med school and also the residency, and just so people realize, when you're teaching, you also have a partial panel. So you still take some patient load on. So you're not only a pure professor. You still have a panel of people that you're seeing as well in the community. So there's potentially up to about 78 different doctors going to be part of this clinic, all the way through from the pre-med all the way to the
So
residency.
you're going to have 78, you got pre-med, trainers, real doctors, potentially coming into Grande Prairie at any given point, or is that a number that is getting trained through the system?
No, so there'll be 30 doctors starting, like a first class of 30.
Sure.
So 30 first, second, third, and fourth year. Obviously, you start at your first year and then you build from there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be that's very exciting for next fall to have that first crop of doctors being trained here. It is U of A degree, but first crop here. The amazing part is it will require more doctors to move here.
Yeah.
Now there is some opportunity for online participation or online teaching, I should say, not participation. So U of A doc could potentially be teaching here, and also the reverse. So we are looking for an influx of doctors who live here and also teach here and have a panel load here, and that's exciting to me.
Yeah.
Because we are potentially through all that probably 25,000 potentially extra patients by the end. So that's significant for our area.
That's amazing. So the first stage, obviously, training doctors. What stage? Call it 2 and 3.
Yeah, you bet. So those kind of opportunities is going to be building out. I think and hoping the doctors will stay retention, but also move to some of our areas as well. So Beaver Lodge, let's say Fox Creek, even Fort McMurray, being able to see some of these major centers, or some of these centers who have hospitals, have rural doctors who are trained in smaller centers, be able to move there. So that's going to be the second stage. And then also there's opportunity in the Maskwa building itself they're going to treat it as a hub. So that's going to be located right across from the current hospital, Grande Prairie
Right.
Regional Hospital. So instead of going to the ER, go to the clinic, and then you actually utilize your ER space for the real emergencies.
Yeah.
So we're not clogging up that system, but instead going to a family doc across the street.
Which is amazing. When can we expect all of this to be finished? You mentioned that we could potentially have residents next year in the program. When will the building be finished? Is there multiple phases to the building?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's looking to be about a three-story building.
Okay.
It's quite large, and so it'll house the residency program as well as that teaching components. And then there's also opportunity for specialists to be in that building.
Right. And this is
also
where the Mayo Clinic type
yeah,
conversation comes into play.
Exactly. So for the local Maskwa crew, they went down to the Mayo, saw how it worked. Some of them had to experience that, and they thought we should bring that model to Canada. So they've been exploring it. They've actually, I think, built upon it, changed the model to better fit Alberta, and so we'll see where they continue to go in that model too as well. So it has great opportunity for the Maskwa Diagnostic Center and so there's the building and then also the diagnostics side. So the building side, that's going to house everybody. The diagnostic side, they're hoping to build basically an online opportunity for rural doctors to be able to have a quarterback and see specialists, and so you don't have to necessarily wait as long to see a specialist.
Or go down to Edmonton.
That's right. Save the travel.
Yeah,
just be able to see the doctor, see the specialist online, and then also potentially some group care. So it's exciting. It's very pretty new here in Alberta. It's well tried down in the States, but in many ways new here in Alberta. So looking forward for Grande Prairie to have some pretty cutting edge opportunities come into here,
which is amazing. Nolan Dyck, our MLA here in Grande Prairie. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.